Welcome, fellow Floato cataract sufferers, as well as my fellow floater sufferers. This is Tony Padgett. It's December 3rd, 2023, and I'm here for an update on my journey of getting rid of the floaters all the way to the end of now getting cataract surgery because of the vitrectomy that I got previously. So let's do a quick review, and I'll put some links either in the notes or in the cards or however this stuff works on YouTube so you can find previous videos if you're watching me for the first time. Back in March 2020, I had my first laser treatment in my eyes to get rid of floaters with Dr. Johnson. It was a pretty good result, lasted for about 2 years. But then about in December of 2021, I went back for more laser treatment to get rid of the floaters again. Lasted somewhat, got frustrated with it, so I decided to go with for a vitrectomy in January of 2022 on my right eye. And then 6 months later, I got a vitrectomy on my left eye. Both treatments of the vitrectomy really helped get rid of all the big and every little all floaters that I had seen before. The only small problem is, and now it's December 2023, so almost 2 years later. In my right eye, in my vision here, there's a little floater that's stuck to, like, I think the back of my lens. So when they do the vitrectomy, they can't get all the vitreous humor or the sac out, I guess. They can't scrape the lens, but they try to do their best. The doctor did. Same thing for my left eye, but there's one still stuck, but it's way in the peripheral of my periphery vision. The right one's they're both more noticeable in a very sunny day here in Arizona. We have a lot of sunny days. But the right one's more noticeable than the left one because the left one's further out. But I consider that, when I wear sunglasses, I should say, it masks it. And with a sunny day, you're going to be wearing sunglasses anyway. So pretty much a success. Not worth going in for another vitrectomy just to get those two guys out that I see occasionally when I'm out in a sunny environment. So I was told by the doctor that vitrectomy would cause cataract, and lo and behold, 2 years later, here I am getting ready for cataract surgery, which will happen. Today is Sunday. I'm going to get my right eye done on Tuesday, follow up on Wednesday, left eye done on Thursday, follow up on Friday. The last 6 months or so, my prescription and my glasses continue to need to be stronger and stronger. And almost like every 6 weeks, I'd have to have a new prescription. Progressive glasses, forget it, very costly. And went to the optometrist, and sure enough, there's cataracts in there. And they said with you could wait a while because you can still see. I don't have fuzzy vision or blurry vision, nothing like that. But I do have my prescription is getting stronger and stronger. So she said, might as well go ahead and get the cataract surgery. So the vitrectomy lasted for 2 years without cataract surgery, but here I am. So the optometrist did refer me to a Dr. Ramsey with Swaggle Wooten Eye Clinic in Mesa, Arizona. I think this is all they do is cataract surgery. I was waiting in line, got there from my first consultation about a month ago. The one thing that was the biggest concern that led me really thinking was that 20 to 40% of the patients who do get cataract surgery tend to get what's called what more known as a second cataract or a secondary cataract, or more technically called a posterior capsular ossification, or a PCO. This is where really the protein starts to accumulate in the back of the lens and the capsule of the eye, and the rectification for this, or the treatment for this, is, get this, a YAG laser, which they'll then kind of like poke little holes or trying to take those capsules out with a YAG laser to open up a clearer vision, because your vision gets blurry from this ossification. That's what that word means, I guess. And and they'll need to cut that out, and then you'll see floaters. I can't believe it. For 2 to 3 weeks. Now, I read up on this a little bit, and the people that I've talked to who's had this say they go away. This is not your typical vitreous floaters. They're probably like the inflammation cells that I had when I first got my vitrectomy, and I started seeing all sorts of like cobwebby stuff. It's a little concerning, but I'm hoping, and it sounds like that they will go away. I guess I would have to know if it's another vitrectomy if they don't. And then I'll make another video about that. Let me talk about a little bit of my next concern after I tell you what type of lenses I'm going to get, which I think are really interesting. There are light adjustable lenses. So in a normal cataract surgery, they take your natural lens out and they put a intraocular lens in. There's a variety of types. There's just single vision, there's multiple multi-vision, which also have halos, but the light adjustable lens is a premium lens, and it's not cheap. Check with your local doctor on how much it would cost. Insurance doesn't cover it, but it's a really good investment in my mind, so I'm going to go with that. And what they do is they put the lens in, kind of set it for far, is what I've heard, and then they actually use UV light to adjust the prescription in your eyes to fine tune it. It's really good for monovision, where they'll set one eye to near distance and one eye to far distance, which I've done with contacts before. Fantastic. I was used to that. So I want to go for that. And I've asked for those lenses. Again, not cheap, not covered by insurance. That gives me the best chances of having no more glasses, waking up and seeing without any glasses and contact lenses for the first time I can remember. So I've been wearing glasses since I was in the second grade, and I haven't remembered. I see pictures of myself before then without glasses, but I can only remember, I have memories of always wearing glasses or contacts. So what I've heard is that people who get these light adjustable lenses, it's almost like seeing an HD vision for the first time. So I'll be recording my progress. And if you're one who's, did everything in a vitrectomy for floaters, and now you're at this point, need cataract surgery, or you're a person that is getting cataract surgery and you're choosing the light adjustable lens, I'm hoping this video will help you out. After they put the lens in, you go back 2, 3, maybe 4 times for an adjustment, again with the UV light, and they lock it in. During that time, you got to wear these kind of special goggles that don't let any sunlight in, because that can change your prescription naturally from the sun. So my surgery, as I said, is this week. Right on Tuesday, left eye on Thursday, and I will keep you informed of progress going forward. And I'm hoping my floater fans that followed me through this journey, and people who are getting the light adjustable lens are thinking about that. Hopefully this will both give you, both people, an idea of what to expect. Wish me luck. Hello, welcome back. It's Tony Padgett again, and it's December 11th, 2023 for an update on my cataract surgery and how things are going. And overall, very pleased. It's Monday today, and I had my right cataract surgery done, on my right eye Tuesday of last week, almost a week ago. And then 2 days later, the left eye was done, and it was a very interesting experience. But bottom line, I'm very, very impressed with the results, even in a very, very short time. I can kind of see right now, I'm just wearing these clear goggles or glasses, because as you'll remember, I've opted for the light adjustable lens. And because of that, I need some protection. These protect from UV light. I can see far distance, intermediate distance, a little bit past my computer screen here. I can see the calendar up on my wall, for example, right behind here. But when it gets to the computer, I can kind of see it, especially out of my left eye. The words and stuff, they're a bit blurry. And I think that's because she put a nearer distance lens in my left eye to start with, and far from my right eye I can't see hardly anything, but so it's a little blurry. And then when it comes to my watch, or if I'm looking at my phone or whatever, no, I have to do this. Or what happens is I have a couple different things. I've got another set of glasses, goggles, prescription goggles that have little readers at the bottom. And for daily use, let me do this now. Close my eyes. I don't want to get any rays in my eyes. Um, it's like having bifocals on in a way, but they're pretty low. For example, I can't use this with my computer. I'd have to do this the entire time, and I can see everything really clearly. But if I'm just kind of at home or out and about, and I want to look at my phone or look at my watch or read a menu, these ones with the little readers at the bottom are great. Let me do this. I have a pair of readers that I bought from CVS. Forgot what the strengths are. I think they're plus 1.75. And they've given me these other types of goggles, kind of look really funky, that fit over the readers. There are one more pair that we have. It is these tinted ones, so that when you're outside, excuse me, when you're outside here in sunny Arizona, you definitely need these. Um, there's no more protection than this, is what they said. The UV protection is the same. It's just sunglasses so that you're not squinting all the time. And these are good. I just can't. There's no readers on the bottom of these. So let's switch back to, if I can find the right pair. Closing my eyes. So that I can go back to my original one, just purely clear. So a variety of ones. Make sure you do ask for the fit overs if you are doing the light adjustable lens, or you're going to have to wear these goggles or glasses, and you won't be able to see near as good, especially if you're working on a computer like me and you're going to be using readers for a while. Get the fit overs, so that'll help a lot. And they didn't give those to me in the beginning. It's going to kind of, I guess they expect me to use these that have the readers at the bottom, but again, they're so low, as far as working a computer is concerned, you'll be bending your neck, and it's just not practical. So that's how I did that. And then there's one other type of glasses they gave me, and these are it. These are not really goggles. Well, these are actually goggles. Now these are for when you're sleeping. Now they don't have any UV protection whatsoever. They go on, and it's so that you don't scratch your eyes accidentally at night while you're sleeping. You need to do that for 4 days after your last cataract surgery. So I got a couple more days to use. But overall, living a kind of a normal life, except with these kind of funky glasses. So now let's talk about the surgery itself. And the one thing I didn't realize is, well, I'll tell you in a moment. Let's go into the actual step by step. Check in, go in, you wear loose clothes, kind of like what I'm wearing here. You don't wear it. They don't change you into kind of like hospital garb or gowns or anything like that. They will put you lie back on the bed, even with your shoes on. I ask, it's kind of odd to get in bed with your shoes, but lay you back. They take your vitals, blood pressure, temperature, all that kind of stuff. Ask your name and birth date. I don't know how many times. Then, the anesthesiologist will come in and see you. They put an IV into one of your arms, so they put to sedate you a bit, so that you're not, if you're a little bit wound up or a little bit nervous, helps you to be a little bit relaxed, so that you're not fidgeting or whatever, and you can go through this operation kind of in a calm manner. Then they roll you into the operating room, and I think there was another 3 or 4 people waiting in the line. And my operation on my right eye was 7 o'clock, and my other operation at 8:30. I mean, they do these so many times a day. It's kind of like a factory setting. I'm not saying that the doctors don't care and do their a lot of detailed and follow procedures and are concerned about anything, but this is such a routine procedure. They just schedule a whole bunch, one right after the other. So I'm in a specialist clinic where this is all they do. Wheel me in right into the operating room. And the first thing, as I said, I didn't realize is they use, I think it's called a femtosecond laser to actually take out, punch a circle around the the capsule that holds the lens in your eye. That gets somehow gets removed, and then it also breaks up the cataract or your old lens in your eye. It goes through and cuts it into like little pieces, and then also puts a couple incisions for the doctor doesn't need to make an incision anymore. So this laser, they put it right there. It's kind of multicolored. You'll see it. It comes right down to your eye. I didn't know that actually it looks like from the research I did online is it goes right on your eye and it does all that. And while this is happening, you can't see anything. It's the light's so bright. All you see is something twirling, maybe like the light's twirling. You're hearing things, but you're not seeing anything. So you're not they're freaked out by seeing like a laser in your eye or like a knife coming in when the doctor comes in and starts to cut things up or whatever or remove stuff. You can't see it. The lights are so bright on these machines. It's just it's a non-issue. You can't see anything. So the laser goes away. I think that took about a minute or something. Then they kind of slide you over to the doctor's where she's got her special equipment and brings things down, the machine down on you. And she does her work, very bright light. The second one is even brighter than the first with the laser. And from there, you can hear machines, but that's where I assume they take out the actual cataract, the old lens, and then she places the new lens up, and you're done. It's that simple. They've got things to keep your eyes open. You don't have to worry about blinking because you get a bit of medication in you, sedation in you. You're not shaking. They can't. They keep track of all that. I think I heard somebody ask if I got a cough, what do I do? I think you just raise your hand. I mean, you're not out of it. Just like and you're not. You can speak and say, "Hey, I'm gonna have to cough in a moment." Didn't have that worry myself. Oh, and like any surgery for back track, you do have to fast 8 hours before the surgery. So easy peasy, was really simple. No patch on. They don't put a patch on the eye like they used to because again they say these things heal up. The technologies now they wheel you back in the room. Recovery room. You barely had time to recover. They give you to come by in about 5 minutes or so. They bring you out to see your driver, whether that's your wife, your better half, or partner, friend, or whatever, and you're going home. That's it. It's like a 10-minute procedure. It's quicker than me telling you this how I'm describing it now. Most likely, it's really quick. And first day, I will say this: don't expect anything the first day as far as you're gonna be able to see. For the first day, my eye was still blurry. I couldn't see anything out of it. It was just I guess I could kind of see the TV a little bit of some things, but I had a lot of glare, a lot of halos from lights, and what I did was so I could do a little bit of work as I got myself. Here's another thing if you want to, a eye patch. Put it over my right eye. Put my old glasses over my left so I could see. Really funky way to do stuff. I know I'm supposed to rest, but I had to do a little bit of work that day so I could see. And also while I was watching TV and stuff, so I wouldn't get got a little bit of a headache from the blurriness on my right eye, and my left eye could see with my glasses on. Over top of these, um, I put that patch on, and then going to bed, I'm going, oh my goodness, I'm going to have the next operation. Are going to take out my old lens in my left eye in 2 days, and I'm still seeing blurry. What's going on? Well, lo and behold, I wake up the next day and I can see things in the far on my walls. I could kind of see my clock next to me in a bed on my bed. It was like overnight. It cleared up. The blurriness went away. Now it wasn't perfect. It was still a little hazy and fuzzy, but I was amazed on what to do. So what I could see. Immediately put my glasses on when you wake up. These goggles, and I try to keep my bathroom dark except for one little light, and take a shower and keep the water out of my eyes. Blah, etc. But the next day was amazing. So I had no worries. Got a checkup the next day. They said everything's fine. We'll come in tomorrow, get your left eye done. and then it was lather, rinse, repeat. It was the same thing, same machines, took the same amount of time. This time was 8:30, and blurriness all day. And then the next day, now both eyes could see distance, and I was just amazed. And of course, I do take a little peek with the shades down, covered, so I don't have a lot of UV light, just to take a peek. And it's just amazing. I haven't seen clearly without glasses since I was in second grade. So that's really the gist of it. Very simple procedures. I'm going to say simple. I mean, it's complex now with the technology, but they make it really simple. It's in and out. And I'm amazed at how quickly you can see. And I'm starting again to see near on my computer here. I can read my notes, but it's a bit blurry, mostly because my right eye is far. My left eye can see it, but it's a little blurry too. And until they adjust that, she said in about 3 weeks' time, then I should probably start to see better clear. That's all I have for now. I will come back and report to you as the situation develops. If there's anything changing, maybe a few weeks, probably after the first adjustment, but let's see. But overall, 2 thumbs up. I don't know if this is going to do. Yeah, I knew it was going to do that. Sorry. 2 thumbs up for this surgery. Very, very impressed. Highly recommend it. And let's see if I highly recommend it after the adjustments happen. Hi, it is Thursday, December 28, 2023, and it's about 3 weeks after I had the cataract surgery in both eyes. Actually, it's been exactly 3 weeks since I got the last surgery in my left eye and 2 days before that in my right, to be precise. So tomorrow I go in for my first adjustment to the prescription of the lenses in my eyes, and I'm interested to see how that will change things. So I thought I'd take this opportunity to do a quick update on how things are progressing. And so far, they're progressing really, really well. I can basically see distance, no problem. I think I said this before, intermediate, no problem. Well, let me back up. Intermediate, for example, I have some notes here on my computer that I can read with very little problem, but the text is a little blurry because my left eye is for near and my right's for far. They haven't really got the adjusted the prescription correctly. If I and I can't see anything really clearly on my phone. If it's up here, I can kind of see it, but it's too blurry. So I can use, if I'm not doing anything a long time on the computer or very intensive work like spreadsheets or whatever, I can use the clear glasses without the readers, which is the double ones, readers plus the fit overs. That's what I do if I'm doing long time on a computer, no meetings, no breaks, etc. And then if I'm just at home and I just I'm watching TV and at the same time I might be looking down at my phone and scrolling through text and stuff like this, I'll use the glasses or whatever these are called, the UV protection with the readers on the back. These are just clear lenses, as we talked about before, for the UV to protect you from UV light so that the lenses don't change prescriptions unnecessarily. So progressing well, but let me back up a little bit on what's happened in the last 2 weeks or so, 2.5 weeks. First of all, when I went back to the office, the fluorescent lights were quite brighter than I was used to. Apparently, if you have cataracts, you probably know this, it kind of blocks the light. So it took me a few days to get used to the office lighting with the fluorescent lights. It did become normal for me after a few days, but I had a slight headache trying to use the right proper glasses, reading the computer. But a couple of days later, I was in pretty good shape. And at night for about a week or so, I would see glare around lights, and that was a little bothersome. But I think about a week and a half later, that is dissipated. I still see some depending on the light and the brightness intensity, but it may be a little foggy glare around it. But it's overall pretty much gone away. And I think in a couple more weeks, maybe that glare or any kind of halos effects should be completely gone. I also, for the first couple weeks, I was seeing around 8 o'clock, it would just seem like my eyes got really dry. Even I put drops in, it didn't help. But I could see kind of the outline of the lenses in my eyes. It felt like I could see like the bottom of it got really kind of cloudyish around that. And I think the doctor told me that's because the inflammation you still had in the eyes. And sure enough, this past week or so, I haven't noticed that much until it gets later at night. More tired my eyes get, so around 10 o'clock, if I'm staying up a little bit later, I start to see that a little bit. So most of the symptoms have gone. There's some little remaining after about 3 weeks, but I would think that another couple weeks or even a month later, that should all subside. Everything's progressing well. It's so interesting to kind of wake up and see clearly far distances without having contacts in or glasses in. You do need to put these on quite quickly. Or when I'm taking a shower, I notice one thing because I would open the shower door, grab for a towel, and I dry myself off, and I couldn't see myself in a mirror before, but now I can see myself in the mirror, and not the best sight, and reminds me that I need to lose some weight. Let's just say that I can see clear from afar. You don't wear glasses or contacts usually in a shower, and it's like, oh, there I am. So get ready for some interesting surprises that you can see when you can start to see distance without glasses or contacts. I don't think I've been over this before, but about the week after my surgery, the cataract surgeries, I saw the doctor, a different doctor. She's one that does the follow up and do the adjustments of eyes, and Dr. J. Nice doctor. I did talk to her about the floater in my right eye that I had from the vitrectomy that seems to be hanging off the back of that capsule. It just kind of sits there and dangles around and floats around. I can see it in bright light or a really bright screen. And the good news is, hopefully this will be good news, is that she said she could take care of that with the YAG laser if I get, or the same treatment they do for PCOs, which I talked about before, where the capsules or the cells start to gather on the back of the capsule, and they use a YAG laser to actually punch a hole around the back of that capsule. And so that they'll do is they'll punch a hole around it, and that little floater that's hanging on, hopefully, since this is my vision, it should be cut out as well. It'll be cut out and go away, and that floater will disappear. And hopefully, since I have no vitreous in my eyes, all those cells, just like inflammation cells, should be settled down and eventually kind of wash out as those inflammation cells did with my floaters, or for not the floaters. I'm sorry, for the inflammation cells when I had the vitrectomy, I should say. Now the left eye floater that was really on the periphery, I don't see that at all. I've been trying to find it, trying to see it, even really trying to see it in bright light and stuff. It seems to have been gone, or something's changed there. Maybe it got shaken loose when they did the laser into treatment, but I don't see that at all. So if I can get this little right guy here, that little floater, if I can get that taken care of, I would be ecstatic. And if I have clear vision and without glasses, this is probably the best thing I've done, the best investment I've done in my life. So fingers crossed, that'll help. She said she'd have to do that a couple months later, so it can't be done right away after things settle down. So looking forward to that. Hi everybody, it's January 3rd, Wednesday, 2024, with a quick update on what's happened since my last adjustment. So I had the adjustment about 5 days ago. What happened is, walked into the office, did the same type of pressure test on the eyes, the whole rigmarole. Doctor comes in, Dr. J, and she said, okay, well, let's try to adjust, but not get it perfect, so we can kind of get where you need to go, be a bit conservative, and then we can tweak it in from there rather than trying to hit the target right off the bat. I said, fine, that sounds good. The longest part of this procedure was getting your eyes dilated. So she had to do the drops 3 times, but you had to wait 5 or 10 minutes in between. So drop the dots in, both eyes, lay back, keep your eyes closed, open, whatever. That was the most boring part. It took a while. They walk you over into this room, and they sit you in front of a machine, and some calculations into the machine. I said, how long is this going to take? and she said 32 seconds on the right eye. Oh, 32 seconds, not 30 seconds, 32 seconds. Perfect. So dials the machine in. All the best I could say, it looked like a yellow honeycomb around, and not the whole thing, but just around the circle. And you got these grips. And when you try to do something with your head and try to keep it still, for me it types the shape. So just try to relax, look at the dot, the center. They do put a contact, not like a contact lens like you wear, but some type of lens over your eye so you don't close your eyes or blink while it's happening. And 32 seconds later, beep, 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 done. Next time she puts in the calculations and says 120 seconds, so 2 minutes. Okay, because I guess they're dialing in my left eye for vision and not much going on my right eye, which she said would be plain out. Held the little grips, the countdown happened, and that was it. And everything was blurry the rest of the day. This happened about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Went in, took a look at my eyes, and said things will settle in about 24 hours or so. So that night, eyes were dilated, blurry, couldn't see anything. Watching TV, whatever, was I could kind of see what's going on, but the words were blurry. And I just kind of relaxed the rest of the day. Next day, I got up. Interesting. I could start to see near, but far is still a little bit. And by the end of the day, I was getting a little worried because I'm looking at the TV and I can't make out. Well, I can kind of make out the letters, like the 1/3, the titles below, the lower third titles, or the scrolling news tracker, or whatever it's called. Or if I'm looking for YouTube videos on a TV, the titles are all a bit blurry-ish around. I can kind of read it, but they were blurry-ish. It wasn't very comfortable. It wasn't like a little halo effect. It was quite blurry, but I could make it out what it was. But my phone looked good. If I held it kind of this far, you can see it almost arm's distance closer, a little bit fuzzy-ish. Watch was okay. So the near vision got better, but the far vision, which I thought she said she was going to looking at changing that, definitely needs changing. I don't know how that happened, but anyhow, as the weekend wore on, and also at New Year's, I started fretting more. Did I make the wrong mistake? I only got two more chances, I should say, to adjust these lenses, and I'm not getting close to where I want to on the first. And the second one is that kind of a crapshoot also, and how close will that be? And the third will lock it in. Maybe I should have gotten multifocals, and the best thing, because maybe this whole monovision thing isn't working out for me, and millions of thoughts went through my head. So I looked up on a Facebook group, and even Sunday came, Monday came. I was getting more and more worried. I couldn't call the doctor because New Year's Day, and started looking up, and I read something about having contacts that before they do the adjustment, they could put contacts in your eyes. How they're going to adjust it, you can try that out. Look at some Facebook friends in a cataract group. They said, yep, just check with your doctor. So yesterday I called up the doctor. She was out for the rest of the day, but she called me up today, and definitely for sure, fairly really relieved that they can put contacts in your eyes on the adjustments they want to make, so you can try before you buy, which gives me a lot more leeway so I can really focus on that and not waste these last two chances to adjust. So my worry, my anxiety has gone down quite a bit. Now, as I said, when I was driving yesterday to work, I couldn't see the signs, the names of the signs that were blurry in the background until I got really up to the intersection almost, and things of that nature. I couldn't see the clock on the wall, which is about 6-7 feet away. The numbers were very blurry. I have a little, like what I have here in the background, a little bit bigger than that actually, a photo frame sitting on a credenza, and that was blurry and I couldn't read the numbers. So the distance was not close. I kind of wish they should kept it to where it was before, but I don't know if that works with monovision. So I have one of these optometrist flippers, which you can see can adjust your eyes stronger power, weaker power, 0.25 each. And what I did was trying to check, and I found out if I made plus 0.25 into my left or right eye, I could see a little bit better, a little bit better. So enough that I could see the signs, but it was blurry, and I could read the TV without having too much of a distraction. There's still a bit blurry lines around it. So what I did was I popped, I popped the lens out of the plus 0.25 and made a makeshift lens, as you can see here in the glasses, and just taped it with double-sided clear tape. I know it looks weird to people, but it helps me function. And I'm telling you also, with this lens in my eye, this temporary flipper lens, actually it makes my computer screen looks perfect almost. It's now I'm actually in really good with the computer. I don't hardly see any blurriness with it out. It's a little got a little bit of halo around it. So maybe that'll help. But if I look over at clocks and stuff, it is still a little blurry, but I can function. Let's see what she's going to do. She said she doesn't have contact lenses of plus 0.25, but I think I need plus 0.50 really to make this work. And I also need the near vision adjusted a bit. So bottom line is concern, but the key is the concerns have gone away since they said, yes, we can do contact lenses, and that should help quell any concerns you may have of, do I got to get these right 3 tries in a row, or else you're set. So hopefully that's helpful. I don't have much else to say going on in 2 days, and I will make an update next week to let you know how things go from there. Take care. Hi, it's January 9th, 2024. Very quick update, just so I can compare before and after and concerns, etc. Did go into the doctor for my checkup on last Friday. That was been a 5th. It's about 4 days or so. And she was a bit confused or concerned or what have you about my right eye. She thought I would be able to see better my right eye than with the adjustment she had made. And her thinking is I have a bit of an astigmatism and also dry eyes. So what we agreed to do is not do any treatments that day. And two things, well, one thing, put plugs into your eyelids, I should say, so that the liquid in your eye, or tears, doesn't easily just drain out through those ducts. And she did it for both eyes. She had the small one she plugged into the right eye. Can't hardly feel it at all. It's so small. The only time you can feel it is if you look really kind of extreme right or left. She also did it in the left eye just for good measure. That was a medium-sized one. I'm going to probably ask her to take that out and switch it around to something. I get more irritations with that. Not all the time, but it is irritating. She's also had me get sustain over-the-counter, preservative-free, which is important, drops. Take those 4 times a day and see if that helps. I'm going to tell you now it doesn't, and I think I showed you my makeshift lens. I have to use that. But here's the interesting thing. My left eye, she kind of knew that would have to be adjusted, and she's given me a the power of plus 0.5 contact for my left eye to wear. And yeah, now I can see the phone. I can pretty much see my watch. My watch is a tad blurry, but it's workable. Phone's perfect at this distance. Computer's good, etc., etc. So that contact is showing me that left eye adjustment that I think she was going to want to make is going to be working. Why she didn't give me the contact for the right? She says, for contacts, astigmatism, you'll start to see blurry. I really asked her if I could. She didn't think it was the right call, which is really odd. So what I did was I took, after seeing that, okay, left eye seems fine with this left contact, the plus 0.05 in my left, I put it in my right eye. And now I can see almost pretty well in my right eye for distance. It's not perfect. I think it's a tad strong. She said what my right eye adjustment in the sense of power would be correlated to plus 0.36 something. So it's not plus 0.25 or +5. It's somewhere in the middle. And I can see when I do kind of change the power and stuff on a TV screen and stuff, if I have that contact in, it is still a little blurry, but I think it's too strong. And when I put the little flipper in to flip it back and make it a little bit weaker, I can see the outline on the TV and stuff. So what I think I'm going to do today, I got the checkup today, is go ahead and do my right eye. She said, let's be conservative. I want to see how that works because I only have another choice out, one more wish. You get 3 wishes in this. After that, make sure that's correct. See how it balances out with the contact. If that's cool, I'm going to have her do the left eye. Unless she thinks, let's go full hog and do both. I'd still, she seems to be okay with me taking time. So with that kind of like, that she saw for my right eye, what's going on there? I think I want to be a little conservative. Doesn't seem to be any rush, so I'm going to ask her to do 2 adjustments. But here's the bottom line in this. If you want to wear contacts to try out the adjustments before they happen, unless you have astigmatism, apparently you can do that. I highly recommend it. Really good point to give that a try. That's all I've got for now. Wanted a quick short update and more later after I see what happens today. Hi, it's January 16th on a Tuesday, and a quick update on the progress I've been making with my light adjustable lenses. Went in last week, about a week ago, for a checkup and an adjustment, and I think, as I said in my last video, she would probably just adjust the right eye. She did. Adjusted it about, I think it was something around plus 0.3637, something ish. It wasn't quite plus 0.50. It wasn't the flipper side of 0.25. It was somewhere in between, as I kind of thought. And wow, did it make a big difference as far as computer vision is concerned, TV is concerned, walking around the house is concerned. I can see the calendar on my wall fine, everything. Even TV. The TV looks like it is in HD. It is in HD, but it's the first time I could really see clearly. No blurry letters on the screen, no blurry letters on my computer screen or the TV screen or what have you. Fantastic. Walking around day, night, dark, light, natural light, somewhat dark. Everything's really, really good as an intermediate distance. Really, really happy with that. The next challenge, though, is near. So on my phone, if I want to read it, if for some reason bright light, I can see it pretty well outside, but indoors, I have to take it to about here before I can see, or reading labels or what have you. So I think that's an adjustment in my left eye. 0.5 plus 0.50 contact that I still have is it doesn't work. It's too strong. Well, let me pick that back. I can see it really clearly on the phone, but when I look at the TV and stuff or everything else, the computer screen gets a bit blurry. So I think a small adjustment of a point plus 0.25, if I'm saying this correctly, sorry doctors if I'm not, but just to give people an idea of what that means from contacts and glasses prescription. I think if we adjust it, just tweak the left eye, there's going to be really good, and intermediate is going to be great. Distance. This is where I'm getting a little disappointed. I can see if I just close my left eye while I'm driving or outside, and I can just use my right eye for distance, pretty good. Use my little flipper thing and make it stronger as about negative 0.25. It's actually better, but it's good. I can see that this is no blurriness, nothing. But when I'm trying to drive using both eyes or walk around town here using both eyes, things are blurry. Cars are blurry. Anything more than a half a block away, it's blurry. And that means I see signs in the distance I need to be thinking about when driving. And I'm wondering how she's going to fix it now. She did say there's astigmatism in my right eye, and I do have PCO, so I'm wondering how that's impacting that. So fingers crossed, maybe that's the reason. I'd love to try dialing it back again. She add what was plus 0.36, as I said before. Maybe she did a little bit too much and wants to weaken it a bit, or whichever the opposite way is, but I only get one more try with the right eye. So I don't know what's going to happen there, and I'm going to talk to her about that today. But probably today she's only going to adjust the left eye, see how the day are, and then we're going to talk about next steps. If I have to read glasses while I'm driving, so be it. But in my day-to-day, walking around the office, walking around the home, waking up, taking a shower, or what have you, and not needing glasses, it's not a bad consolation prize, and heck, it's better than some other people have. Let's see what the doctor will say. Feeling a little bit down that I wasn't going to kind of get what I was going to get, but I don't know. Let's see what she has to say. But I just don't know how we're going to get over this kind of blurriness. It's like the left eye is competing with the right eye, and it doesn't want to. I don't know. The dominant eye doesn't want to take over for some reason. I don't know if that explains it correctly, but that's what it feels like. That's it for now, and I will come back to you after I have my adjustment or today and see where I'm at. Hi, it's February 13th, 2024. A quick update on my continued journey with these light adjustable lenses. So about 3 weeks ago, went in for a checkup and possible adjustment for my light adjustable lenses. The doctor said that she could see PCO, that buildup in the back of the lenses, both eyes. And she said best to go ahead and do a YAG laser treatment to open that up. And she wanted to eliminate that as a reason for my blurriness for distance. She said, the settings of the prescription or settings of your lenses should be able to let you see distance okay. About 2 weeks ago, saw the original doctor, Dr. Ramsey, who does these type of procedures, the cataract removal and implant of the lens. She also does the YAG laser. And went in, took about 5 minutes. I had YAG laser before for floaters, but it takes about 5 minutes each eye. They do it on different days. And what she does is she puts a cross. She like carves out a cross in the middle of the eye on the back part of that sac that holds the lens, and that's supposed to open up, the flaps open up, and I could see more clearly. I did ask her, well, what happens to those flaps? Do they just flap in the wind in your eye, or what happens there? And she said they contract. So I'm excited maybe that pre-existing floater would maybe go away, since maybe that would be pushing that one out to the right. Unfortunately, it came more into my vision. Was a bit upset about that. But about a week or so later, I'm either starting to ignore it because it's so thin now, or it's moving back out. Not quite sure. It does come in my vision once in a while, especially with the white background of the computer. But, I'll put that on the back burner after we get all these, the lenses adjusted properly. So went back in last week, back to Dr. J to get my checkup. Told her that, I'm still having a bit of the blurriness in the distance, so I can't really drive. Intermediate's great. Up front with my camera's okay. But she said, okay, maybe the PCO wasn't the issue. Let's go ahead and adjust the left eye today for near, and we can come back and talk about the right, because I only have one more adjustment in my right. Now, she did say they could do a fourth adjustment, but they'd have to get permission from the company that makes these intraocular lenses. And I forget why she said they don't suggest a fourth one, but she didn't seem too concerned. But it was something about the robustness of the lens or what have you. So put that aside. She went ahead and adjusted my left eye. And basically, from what I understand, is I went from a negative 1.0 and she put me to a negative 1.5. Well, that actually ended up, and if you could see with the lens I have here in my eye, too much. My intermediate vision, especially downstairs in the TV room and stuff, and just a few feet, maybe 6 feet away, TV, things became blurry, and I got that kind of dual effect. And again, maybe it's because I'm not adjusting to the monovision as I thought I would, but I just did not like the blurriness of intermediate. Now my phone looks great when at this adjustment. I mean, I can see kind of labels better. So I'm going to going back today and suggest, and we've already had a bit of a talk last week on the phone, to go from a negative 1.5 to a negative 1.25 because I've used my little, remember this, and I suggest if you're going to do this, buy one of these and pop the lens out. I put in a negative 0.25 here, and it's a good compromise. Now my watch isn't perfectly clear, or if I'm in bed kind of holding the phone up to my chest like this closer than I normally would, it's a little bit blurry, but I'll adjust that. That's not a problem. And so for today, I'm going to go back in, do another checkup. Hopefully she'll adjust my left eye to be not so strong nearsighted, and I'll have a good balance of near, computer, intermediate, and then we'll have to work on the distance. And for that, I'm going to try to plug in one of these little guys into my red eye to see how distance will go if I adjust it slightly from there. Not sure. Let's see and what happens. But that's a quick update for today on February 13th. Taking a little bit longer than I had thought this would take, but I want to make sure we're methodical, and heck, this is for the rest of my life. So catch you on the next recording. It's March 4th, 2024, and I thought I'd give a quick update on the progress, or some not so great progress, of what's happening with these light adjustable lenses. So about 2 weeks ago, went in, as I said, my left eye was adjusted a bit too much, and she did bring the less, how can I say, less near. I went to a negative 1.50 to a negative 1.25, and that definitely helped a lot. Everything seemed to have the right balance. I could see my computer, I could see the TV. Everything was pretty good. Watch, I have to stick the arm out there a bit, or depend, make sure I'm in a bright light to see it. But that's really more for my health stuff. And still was having trouble with distance. Cars were blurry, signs were blurry in the distance and stuff like that. So driving was a little bit of a problem. But she did adjust it for more far, a little bit, not a whole 0.25, she said, but get about somewhere in between. And bingo, I can drive and see really well. Street signs are clear. Lights, I used to have a little bit of a halo or a blur or whatever around stoplights and signals and stuff like that. That's gone. In the early mornings and evenings, and when it's darker, it's a little iffy, but overall, wow, when she just did that, I could see really well driving. Intermediate's pretty good, but now I have a little bit of a different issue, is that my text on the computer, and I'm using dark mode, so white text with black background, it has a little bit of a glow around it. The right eye is blurry and the left eye is okay, but that's because it's such much stronger further distance. It gives you that, it comes across a little bit more, a little blurry. Not terrible. And again, when I take these glasses off to take a look at the text, it's better. So I want to see what happens when we finally lock this all in after and I have these glasses aren't going to be in the way anymore, and I don't have any other choices because I've used up all my adjustments anyway. The other thing is, if you're a person who likes to watch your TV with subtitles on, I have that glow around the subtitles. I have done every type of adjustment, different fonts, bringing the white balance down, etc. It's a bit of annoyance that it's just not as crisp. Or when I'm watching the news and they've got that lower third, especially if it's kind of white text on some kind of colorful background, it's a little bit annoying. So what I might have to do, and I've ordered some, is get some distance reading glasses, if that makes any sense, or something to watch while I'm watching TV, or else it's it's a little bit too annoying for me, or maybe I'll get used to it, or I'll find a setting. Other than that, walking around the office, I can see even better distance in the office. Everything is pretty good, except that text I talked about. Day-to-day life, I'm okay, except for this little bit of blur around the TV fonts. And oh man, that's if I get that settled somehow, I'd be really happy. But there's no more adjustments. And last week we actually went ahead and did the lock-in. The lock-ins took about 90 seconds each. You do them both on the same day. And after that, I did notice that my phone is a little bit harder to read now. So it was all okay before, but now I have to take my phone out further, and I don't have a glow or anything like that with when I do have it on my computer. But my right eye, I don't know if it got stronger by the lock-in. She said it could adjust a little bit if it got further distance because it's a little harder to read. I want to see what she says when I go in a couple days to get the second lock-in, and she'll test my eyesight to see if it's changed at all, because it just seems like the phone has gotten a little bit more difficult to read. And again, when I take these glasses off to look at stuff, things are a little bit more crisp, and it could help without the glasses. Let's see what happens after my next and final lock-in. And that's really about it. Oh, and I do think, I can't be absolutely sure, because the glow or the haze or the glare around like lights, can lights and stuff has gotten less after the lock-in, I think. Or maybe I'm getting used to it. That's what it feels like to me. So a quick update. I hope that wasn't too confusing. I have some notes here, but I am jumping around a little bit. So that's about it for now. And I got the final lock-in in a couple days. Get rid of these glasses, and then let's really see how things visually appear without having to wear these glasses or UV protection all day. Bye for now. Hi, it's April 19th, 2024 with an update on the progress with my light adjustable lenses. Well, it's been about 6 or 7 weeks since I had my last lock-in, and I thought I'd give you all an update on how things are going. But just before that, going back to the final lock-in, I just want to let you know that you can't just get the final lock-in and then walk out of the office without those goggles. You will still have to wear those goggles for another 24 hours. I didn't know that. Not a big deal. I was kind of excited not to wear them, but you did have to bear with them for another 24 hours, so I did, and no big deal. Just make sure you know that as well. So first, an update on my vision. Interesting enough, about a week after my the last lock-in, my vision for both far and intermediate, especially around the computer, it felt like my prescription changed. It was really weird. While I was looking at my computer, the text was a lot more fuzzy around the letters, and my distance vision while driving was off, almost to the point where I thought I wouldn't be able to drive. It just seemed something had changed. But about a week later after that, things seemed to be okay. I could see my computer okay. I could see distance okay. I could see my phone. Things like right before the lock-in seemed to have gone back. And then a week later, the distortion hit again. But so far for the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks roughly, fingers crossed, I think things have settled down. So just be patient. I'd say give yourself about 3 or 4 weeks after the last lock-in, unless you're having really drastic differences in your vision. Give it about 3 or 4 weeks so things really settle down, and maybe for your brain to get acclimated with this new way of seeing things. But overall, I mean, I think I can see things pretty decently. Now, as I said before, I can read my computer fine without glasses. I can see distance while driving, and I can see my phone pretty good, like even about this distance. I can see it. It's got a little blur. And I say decent because a few caveats, and I want to be really clear on this. when it comes to monovision. And keep in mind, I don't even have full monovision. My right eye is a plano, and my left eye is set to plus 1.25, if I got that correctly. Full monovision is something like a spread of 0 to 2, for example. So I'm almost got like mini monovision. So even with this, I want to make sure you're clear what to expect with monovision. When I'm reading my computer, as I can read my computer pretty well, but the text is slightly distorted if I really think about it. I'm looking at the text of some notes that I have here for this video, and if I look at it, yeah, it's like as if it has a little bit of a fuzz around it, almost like a little small little ghost image. Not that bad. So if I really think of it, um, it could bother me, but I become used to that. If I have a long day and I feel like my vision has really gotten out of whack because my eyes are tired or dry or what have you, I bought a set of readers here, and well, these are interesting readers. These are set so that because my left eye is near, I have plano set for this side, and then I have this one set for plus 0.5 to give me more near vision. Now, there are two sets, and I'll put a link in the notes in the YouTube here on where you can buy these on Amazon, so that if you do want to have readers that have different visions or different prescriptions for each eye, you can. They're about, I think they were about $13-14 per side. Comes in very handy. I wear these once in a blue moon. Usually I don't have to do it as long as I give myself enough rest in between my work, and I use drops to keep my eyes lubricated. I don't use that so much, but it's good to have them handy. Next thing is when I drive, I can see distance decently, but the signs, just like the computer here, have a little bit of a fuzz around the characters, are a little blurry, and I can't see really far distance signs like I used to be able to see with glasses. And of course, if I close my left eye with my right side set for distance, I can see everything clear. But using with my left eye, it does create a little bit of fuzz around the text. If I'm driving short distances, short drives around town here, just down to the street for the grocery stop or the haircut, get a haircut or something, that's fine. Things are fine. But when I'm driving to commute a little longer distance, just for safety sakes, I do have a pair of glasses that I wear. I got the prescription from Dr. J, the doctor, and which gives me plano in my right eye, keeps that distance, and the left eye is set to negative 0.50 to give me more distance. Now it's not putting my left eye completely focusing at distance. I actually tried that. It was too much. So just to give me a little bit of clarity, I have these prescription glasses to give me a little bit of boost in the left eye so I can see the distance. So that's when I use these glasses, and I use these most of the time because I also use these. It's a nice compromise to not have it full distance, because I watch TV. When I watch TV, I should say, especially if it has a lot of text on it, so I think I talked about this before, if there's a bit of distortion around the letters, the text. Not that bad, but if I'm sitting and watching TV for a long time, especially with subtitles, I get irritated, and I'm not getting that full HD effect of the TV and watching a nice, large screen TV with that nice clear picture. I can enjoy the TV without him, but when it comes to text, or if I'm watching a nice movie and I want to really see clearly, I use the same pair of glasses that I use for driving. Again, trying to compromise, not full distance with the left, just enough that I can see road signs a lot more clearly and watch TV without feeling that's too much to have another pair of glasses. I did say I could see my phone, okay, and I'm looking at my phone now. I can see the time, and it is a bit distorted. I go out a little bit further. I'm fine, but usually I'm glancing at my phone and things of that nature. At this distance, I'm okay. I can read it, and as long as I'm not doing things a long time, I'm going to be fine on the phone. If reading on the phone, maybe a close-up on an iPad, if I'm out and just kind of catching up articles, or I'm trying to cut my fingernails. What I do have, once in a while, I will use these readers, bought them from the same place as the ones that have the different sides. And this one, the right is set to plus 1.50, and the left is set to plus 0.50. These are really reading glasses. Now I put these on, wow, the computer gets really distorted, but I can see my watch okay from here. My phone becomes really clear. I could see my fingernails. So overall, I would say 60% of my time, I don't need my glasses. It's just those certain types of situations where I feel like I need glasses, and usually when I carry these around with me, it's the one that's the prescription that'll help me see more distance in my left for driving, TV, etc. So I do carry these around with me usually, just in case. And the reason I wanted to emphasize this is because you'll find on the internet, at least at the time of this recording, lots of reviews about light adjustable lenses, and oh, I don't need to wear my glasses anymore. I barely need to do it. Everything's fine, hunky dory. If you're gonna do monovision, unless you're different than me, you could be, you're gonna see some distortion. I think it'd be hard not to see distortion at some point in time unless your brain just can adapt really, really well. Just want to give that caveat because monovision might not be cracked up what you think. It would be good, but it's not going to be perfect, at least in my experience, and probably yours, but your mileage may vary. The next issue that I'm having of the three I'm going to go over, the second one is dry eye. I do feel like my eyes get a lot drier after the surgery. I don't think it's the lens themselves. I just find myself putting more drops, so preservative-free drops in the eye seems to work. Find whatever you want, brand you want. I don't think there's any that's any better than other. I've tried a couple different ones. They all seem to do the same thing, and I put those in when I need it. So another thing that I carry around, not just for the glasses, but also if I'm out and about, bring some drops with me just in case. And the last issue, which is the most disappointing part of this whole process and this whole surgery and the outcomes, and I hope this gets rectified somehow, is I'm getting those starbursts at night. Anything at night with a pinpoint light, say your phone light or the headlights coming to you, stop lights, green light, red light, yellow light, doesn't matter the color of the lights, the street lights, okay, anything with a point of light coming to me. I get these starbursts, and by starbursts, and I'll try to put a picture also in the video for this, is it's like the lights there, and I get not glare, but these lasers of lights coming off the lights coming off the lights, the source, right? It's very, very, I see it for all of them, no matter the distance and how close they are, very distracting, especially while driving, walking around outside and see them. It is very, very disappointing because I bought these these lenses, the light adjustable lenses, hearing that you won't get halos in starburst, or the likelihood is very, very low, just like if you got single distance lenses compared to the multifocal lenses that you could get implanted, which I heard you have halos and starburst. So I would expect it with those, but I paid the premium for these not to have them, and I'm having them. The other issue is I have can lights in the ceiling in my living room, and after the sun goes down, the room gets darker, but I still have those lights. I get a haze, a glare from those can lights, which is also distracting as I'm watching TV or talking to my wife or what have you. Out of the top, I could see the glare coming down. It's very, very distracting. Maybe it's dry. I don't think so, because no matter how many drops I put in my eyes, never works to clear up those glare and the starburst as well. I've talked to Dr. J about this. She's given me some treatments, recommendations of what I can do. One's with an ointment, and another with putting warm patches that you can buy off of Amazon as well. I've put those aside. I've tried them. I won't go into those right now. Didn't really help that much. But what has helped, that has given me some hope, is a medication called brimonidine. Let's see if I can, hopefully that comes up. You can read that. If not, I'll cut this out. Brimonidine, 0.2%. I put those in, And about 20, 30 minutes later, the glare off of those can lights and any other lights inside, gone. Completely, I mean, just like that, gone. The Starburst, though, less, but still a lot. Not to the point where I go, this is a few here. The Starbursts have gone down. And what this medication does is it constrains your pupil. Instead of dilate, like you go into the doctor to dilate your eyes, it actually constrains the pupils and makes them smaller. I think, if I'm saying this correctly, so not as much light gets into your eyes. They work until I go to bed. That's a stopgap measure, and I still see the Starburst. And again, that's disappointing because why do I need to take this medication? I bought these lenses specifically so I wouldn't get halos and Starburst. So that's it for now, and I will come back to you when something major or new happens with these treatments and how things are going. Probably need one or two more. Hang in there. I know this is a long video, but I wanted to make sure it's thorough for those who are thinking about doing light adjustable lenses for your cataract surgery, and the good sides and the not so good sides. And again, as I said, this could depend upon you. It might just be me, but I'm giving you a warning so maybe you can talk to your doctor and make the right decision. That's all for now. I'll talk to you later. Hi, it's July 10th, 2024 with another update about my cataract surgery and the light adjustable lenses. So it's been about 3 months since I last reported, and I know this video is getting really long, but I wanted to make sure that all the details are captured just in case you're getting the same types of issues or wins or positive news, etc., because these light adjustable lenses are relatively new compared to your normal multifocal lenses and other types of lenses. So as I stated in the last video, the glare that I see at night, especially around can lights, are still there, but actually and about I don't know, about almost after the last video, maybe a week or two later, the glare got worse. Even if I saw, like, for example, on the TV, the Apple white logo on a black background, and it comes on, and glare would come around it. If I had a white background in the scene, like somebody looking at a car window or something, glare. Even if text was on the screen, like I had an error message from my video server come up, glare. I could barely, well, I could read the text, but it was a bit challenging with the glare coming off. Especially even during the day, I started seeing glare as I walked, steps, light coming through certain windows felt really glarish, for a lack of a better term. And again, that was about 2 months ago, maybe about 3-4 weeks after my last video, and continued to get worse. And also sometimes when I was seeing glare, I could see it pulsate in one of my eyes or at the same time. I think it was in line with my heartbeat, and that's the glare, I guess, got so visible that I can even see it pulsate, which was a little bit odd. Occasionally that would happen. I also went to Tokyo about 6 weeks, 2 months ago. And if you've ever been to Tokyo, you'll know that there is a lot of lights at night. Lots of lights everywhere. So it was glare galore. Street lights, pulsating lights, whatever. As you walk around, glare or the Starburst would come off of those, and it was really, really challenging sometimes to walk around, even inside the apartment that we rented, or it was actually a full house. The fluorescent light, they used fluorescent lights here. It wasn't too bad, but they did have some of the pin lights I had to shut off to make it less noticeable for me. Tokyo trip was good, but Ramonadine helped, but it was challenging. Another thing to mention is also I could start to see that on more occasions the outline of my IOLs, the lenses in my eyes, as well. That seemed to be more prominent. It wasn't all the time, wasn't necessary. It was probably almost daily that I would see the outline in my eyes of the lenses. So that was a bit challenging. So I kept the journal, and it was almost daily. And what I did is take notes every day, what was happening, good, bad, or ugly, and I wrote that down. And about, I don't know, 6 weeks ago, I emailed my doctor with saying, here's what the situation is. Still seeing glare. It seems to be getting progressively worse. The starbursts are not worse. They're the same, but they're still there, very prominent at night. And I sent her the journal entries, and she called me and said, okay, a week later, let's go ahead and meet since things are getting worse. She did tell me on the phone that seeing the outline of your IOLs occasionally is not unusual, so it's nothing to worry about. So that I checked that concern off the list because actually these days it's not happening so much anyway. So just to let you know that could happen. When I did see the doctor, they did all the tests again, the shape of my cornea, vision test, dry eye test, I think, to see how my tears were working and stuff. And nothing abnormal. Everything looked fine. And I said, listen, I want to exhaust all options. What else you got for me? Just so I can see if I can get this glare, at least the glare indoors, and I had to go away, and the starburst would be going away would be a bonus. She's recommending to fit me with a hard cataract, what am I saying? A hard contact lens. And I think this either focuses the light better in my eye, or maybe it changes the shape of the eye a bit. I don't know. I don't remember exactly. I should have remembered that after I do the visit. It's going to happen next week, and I'll go in and do that fitting. Let's see how that goes. She also said she called the manufacturers of the light adjustable lenses, and they said they've had no issues with this, which just doesn't surprise me because they're not going to want to admit liability for that. So that was kind of a dead end. We'd think that a company like this would want to hear more, but there you go. So interestingly enough, from around that time when I saw the doctor, it was about 2 weeks ago, the glare, these started to subside little by little at night. Each night that passed by, I could find that I could be in the living room. Well, let's do this. The TV, the glare on the TV with the Apple logos and stuff, even the little, if you pause it and you can see like an arrow for the play and stuff that had glare off, that's gone. I don't see that anymore. And that's without any bromonidine. That's just at night, day, that's settled down, it's gone, which is great. The glare from the lights, the can lights, is getting less and less. Now, I did switch out my soft yellow lights with whiter lights, a soft white, not the yellowish, most of the can except for a few. And I noticed that I can get through most of the night without the bromonidine, most on about, I don't know, let's say 30 to 40% of the nights. And that's especially recently. And I can look up, I do see a little bit of glare, but it's not as bad as it used to be. And off the white, the yellow is a little bit worse, but okay. So bromonide, I take that, clears it right up. There are certain days where I don't know if I feel like my eyes are more tired, or there's more humidity in my eyes. I mean, the eyes feel fuzzy. I mean, no matter what kind of drops I put into my eyes, it just doesn't help. And I decide, okay, I'm cutting to the chase, and I'll put the good old bromonidine into my eyes. And 20 minutes later, things are clear. See no glare at all. I was talking about dry eyes, drops, I should say. The drops, well, first of all, dry has reduced quite a lot. It's very hot here in the summertime in Arizona, and very dry. So it's not because of the weather, I think. I would think it got worse. I'm not using the drops as much as I needed to for dry eye. And I've tried a lot. The best one I could suggest is Sustain Complete PF. Sustain Complete PF. This is not commercial. They're not endorsing me. This is the best one. It just absorbs into the eye very smoothly. It's not like some drops you put in, they just kind of sit there and leak out. These seem to absorb and work really well and keep my eyes lubricated for quite a while. And also the gel, I don't take the gel anymore. The gel is the worst. I like the way it feels in the eye. It's really soothing, but it really makes the glare worse at night. I used the gel at night a couple of different times thinking that would help it. and the glare just stuck around. It actually made it feel worse. So I don't know how to explain it. Whenever I have that fuzzy feeling in my eyes, maybe I don't know if I think it's dryness. I don't know what it is. Humidity. In Japan, when it was definitely more humid than it is here, and I'd go into a restaurant and it's daytime and they had those can lights, instantly I'd see the glare, even though I had sunlight coming in inside the room. And it's something, I think, with the humidity. I don't know. Things seem to be getting better. Glare is still there, but less. Bromonidine works almost all the time, and but the Starbursts have not changed. I go outside, it's the same. I don't care. Bromonidine, eye drops, doesn't matter when it's at nighttime. I go outside, car lights, headlights, street lights, signal, stop lights, anything. LEDs off of even in my room here. I have some LEDs on certain pieces of equipment, like this little speaker has LED. I can see Starbursts coming off it even in this bright room. So those haven't changed whatsoever. On a side note, remember I talked about having that dangling floater in my right eye and right part of my vision from a vitrectomy I had about 2 years ago. I did go to Texas to see the floater doctor, and there are videos about my laser treatment with him several years ago. And I said, I have this one dangling floater. Can you zap it? And so I don't have it anymore. And he went in and he did a lot of work. And the good news is the floater, he zapped the floater, the one floater. The bad news is that little thing, I think, started floating around in my eye and would come in occasionally and not. So what do you want? You want the one that's there dangling in your eye, comes into vision, and it's there almost all the time, especially in daytime, in natural light? Or do you want it coming in occasionally, even while you're sitting at your desk, or even you're inside or watching TV, and here it comes? And there were little specks of floaters as well in my eye, because I think what he did is he not only he zapped that with a YAG laser, he zapped something else, which I don't know what he was aiming at. It wasn't in my field of vision, and I think he broke that up and made some small speck floaters. Now, the even better news though is, because I don't have a vitreous sac, I guess you call it, no longer am I, no vitreous. There is he said, a real possibility that these floaters could wash out of my eye and just get and wash out. That's what I don't think that's a technical term, but there's nothing stopping it from getting absorbed into the wall of the eye, I guess, or however they'll come out more easily, is what he thinks, and it's a real possibility. And it's been about 3 weeks, and over the last 2 days, I haven't seen that large stringy floater anymore. Fingers crossed, or at all. So I'm even trying to find it. It's not coming in. The specks have decreased, and I've got a couple that still come through once in a while. So fingers crossed, and by my next video, hopefully I'll have some good news that a large stringy floater is gone, and maybe the specks are gone, and we only have 1 or 2, and eventually those will go away. So I seem, as far as floaters are concerned, fingers crossed, seem to be going in the right direction. That's it. The good thing. Oh, but the good news is daytime vision's great. I wear my glasses for driving and for watching TV, but most of the day I'm glasses free. At night I'm glasses free. So that's the great part about this entire procedure. I just wish I didn't have the glare and the starburst. Let's see. Hi, it's September 30th, 2024 with another update on how my adjustable lenses are going. Unfortunately, not much has changed. I got one good positive outcome. It's temporary, but bottom line is I saw Dr. Ramsey today, the original surgeon who did the actual operation, and there's not much else they can do for me. She's going to refer me for the glares and the starburst. She's going to refer me to another doctor that does lens replacement surgery, the exchange. Because she doesn't have the equipment or the expertise to do it. There's one guy in Scottsdale that apparently will do it, depending on what the circumstances is. And yeah, disappointing. I thought also, you might remember in a previous report, I thought the glare was getting a little bit better with the TV, It actually went back worse again. So when I'm watching anything, and this is interesting, in like Dolby Vision, which has the clearest view colors you can imagine, the purest of whites. When I see the Apple logo, or I see some kind of light coming out of a window, I can actually see the glare. So I have to actually turn my Apple TV to 4K standard definition, and not use even HDR or anything like that. It's still a good picture, but I'm missing out on the colors. So okay, such is life. I can see. I'm not, thank goodness. Again, daytime is great. The near vision on my phone, distance is all great. It's just I'm still having these glares and starbursts. Now, what's the one good piece of news that I've got? They did give me an eye drop, and I'll spell it out here in the bottom, but I'll try to pronounce it. Pilocarpine or Pilocarpine, which, more than the Ramonidine, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, contracts the pupil even more. And when I take those drops, I see no starburst when I go outside, or just maybe a slight bit of starburst, a very slight bit around the edges, and zero glare. This is great, but it has a downfall. The downfall, or the downside, is you'll get a headache, or at least I do. Got a headache for a good 30 to 45 minutes after taking it. It's a slight headache. It's noticeable. So I don't. And the other downside is that the room becomes very dim because your pupils are, constricting, and so everything looks a little dimmer. If I'm going to go out at night, and I know there's going to be a lot of lights, I think I would definitely have used this in Tokyo, where you're in this big city and lights galore, and probably would help balance out with the dimness. Definitely would take that. So I use it in certain cases where the Ramonidine helps me. It doesn't get rid of all the glare, but gets rid of the glare inside enough, but it definitely doesn't get rid of the starburst. So even Dr. J, I met a couple times after the last video as well. That's the one thing she came up with. They're thinking switching to a monofocal lens won't do much, because the light adjustable lens and the monofocal lens shapes are roughly the same, so it doesn't look positive. I need to visit this doctor. I haven't set up the appointment yet. I just actually got back from the appointment with Dr. Ramsey. She was very, she listened to what my issues were, and she just said, I can't do anything here. I don't have the equipment, but this doctor does these aggressively. He could look at it. She said this is very rare. She doesn't know why it's happening. She did afterwards took me to a room, and they scanned my cornea to see if there's anything unusual about that. And she's going to call me back about that, but I highly doubt that's the case. So disappointing. Now, is this better than having floaters? I'd say yes. I'd absolutely say yes. Because most of the day I'm in an office and seeing floaters come down, it's very distracting. And night, I don't go out a lot, and if I do, I can't drive now so much either. I got a lot of glare and starbursts. So I just, have to make sure the lighting's right and wherever I live, and take my medication with me, and use the that sounds strange. The Pilocarpine. Again, I'll put the note down here. So what I'm going to assume is the next doctor, I'm going to go into it, whether he does it or not, it's going to be another piece of the journey, another chapter of what happens if I get lenses actually exchanged. If he does go for it and says, yeah, I've seen this case before, here's what we're going to do, you have a good outcome, I'll do it. Because I've seen these cases before, I've switched the lenses, and that doesn't make a sense. I don't think it's worth the risk, because again, they most likely can't put the
artificial lens, the IOL, in the capsule. They got to put it in front of it, and it's got to be able to hang on to the side. The haptics have to clip in place, and I'll need to ask about all of those types of situations. So that means this video has become way longer than I thought. I'm going to stop here for the review of the light adjustable lenses, and if I do make a decision not to go forward with it, I'll put it in the description and said I did see the doctor. No, I'm not going forward. If I do decide to go for replacement, I'll put a link into those. I'll start those videos up again, start recording, and I'll give you an update. But I'm one of the few exceptions, I guess, on these types of lenses, or maybe monofocals would have been the same. I don't know. I've been searching and searching AI. I hope it gets better someday to really understand this. Contacted the RX site, the company that makes it. They don't give me much back. It's too new of technology to know. It's been out for 7 years, they said. So this is something you got to think about. Would it happen to you? Chances are probably not, but it did happen to me. If anybody is experiencing this type of phenomenon where you're getting glare and you're not having the multifocal lenses, those multifocal lenses can do glare. If you're getting a light adjustable lens or monofocal lens, please write in the comments what you've seen. Maybe we can start up a group on Facebook or something that we can find a doctor who really knows what's going on and can help with this issue. Kind of disappointing, but maybe it's this for the third time, but it is what it is. I can still see, it's part of, I guess, life and getting older, and thank goodness I don't have worst issues. So that's it. Thanks for holding out with me so long, staying with me this long. It's a long video. I didn't expect it to be this long, but with all the complications that came up, I had to continue to report. Looking forward to comments and any suggestions there, and I will also follow up on, as I mentioned, if I'm going to go for an actual replacement or not. Thank you, and I hope your journey turns out better than mine did. Feel free to contact me with your questions or comments. Bye.